Back with this new-ish format, the Kaldheim format, and we are hopping into a league with Yorion, Simic, Uroza. So this is a artifact heavy-ish deck. We've got actual factual 19 artifacts, and we are focusing our build around Urza, Lord High Artificer, as well as Emry as some artifact payoffs. Then we've got Ice-Fang Coatl in here as a snow card to synergize with our snow mana base. Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy to catapult ourselves mana-wise off Mox Amber, Mishra's, Springleaf Drum, and Gilded Goose into early Urza's, Uroza, or Cryptic Commands. And then on top of that, we have the monster that is Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, right here. So this is a deck brought to me by the one and only Jiggy Wiggy, and apparently he has had some reasonable success with it. So we will see if we can replicate that. I have bumped it up to 81 cards as per our current goal to trophy with 81 cards. So I threw in a Jace the Mind Sculptor. No Song Creation in this. No, not this one, Mr. Maple Syrup. We're going with a different deck today. This is straight up blue-green Uroza. And I don't know what else we're going to play after this, but there's lots of wonderful options in Modern, and there's a few things that I probably want to record for my YouTube channel at some point that eventually will happen. Has anyone won yet? No one's won yet. I have 3 different 4-1s, 2 of which were only 1 game away. But no one's won it yet. Some part of me thinks the most efficient thing to do would be to 81 card a Tybalt's Trickery deck. We do play a lot of Modern jank. Or 81 card Death and Taxes, maybe. How did Niv Light go? Really, really well. I 4-1'd, and I 4-1'd again today. Niv to Light will be posted on YouTube tonight at midnight. So in 3 hours and 18 minutes, you'll have access to Niv to Light on...
Meanwhile,
on the YouTube. I don't know why I've been so sleepy for the last couple days. I think I didn't get enough sleep on the weekend, and it's just keeping up with me. You've also been incredibly tired recently. Huh. Well, I hope you are otherwise well, Dr. Combo. Yeah, that's been my last month. I've definitely had some moments in the last month or so where I just really... But it's also, this is the period for seasonal effectiveness disorder. I think that's what it's called. But the January to February is, you know... a convergence of many factors that cause people to be at a real low point emotionally and socially and etc. for most years. So it's not surprising, and I'm glad that there's so much good news, you know, coming down the pipeline for everyone. Oh, it's Everos. Yeah, the last time they trophied, they were on the 5-color Niv deck that I've basically riffed off of. For the recent version I've been playing. Although I added Sisay, because I don't think I ever want to play Niv to Light without Sisay ever again, unless there's a good reason not to. Started going to bed at an appropriate time. I think I go to bed at an appropriate time. I just go to an appropriate time for like the way my life is. I mean, for the last 7 years, the right time for me... No, 6? 5? 5. For the last 5 years, the right time for me to go to bed is 2 or 3 a.m. And the reason is because most of the time my workday starts at like 9 p.m. or, you know, at the earliest 5, 6, 7 p.m. So if I got up at, you know, 7 a.m. every day like most people, that would mean 12 hours into my day is when I go to work, which... Okay, looks like they might still be on Niv to Light. Especially if this chooses red. We will be ready to force a Ren and 6 on turn 2. Get like 8 hours of sleep and still get tired in the afternoon. Yeah, I mean, diet and exercise definitely have to have their parts to play in sleep quality. It's a very complicated issue. As I'm sure anyone who knows it well will tell you. Looks like it could be Niv. Well, can't do anything about that. All right, does my opponent get the turn 3 Niv? If it's Bring to Light, we can deal with that. If it's the raw dog Niv, we might get beat up. But we have some sideboard technology available. Yeah, they have all the ramp. Not really what I was looking for here. Uh-oh. Well, here's hoping they have to Bring to Light for their Niv Mizzet. Because if they just have the dragon, we gonna be sad, sad folks over here. So if they just have the natty Niv here, it's going to be like, oh, you idiot, you should have forced one of these Utopia Sprawls. But I think I felt that it was likely that somewhere along the way that they would cast a Planeswalker that was more threatening, like a Teferi. Did they just put Yorion in their hand? Okay, that's great. This is good news. And non-sanctuary land. Okay. Non-sanctuary land. Okay. All right. Womp womp. No. We could Urza Jiggy, but that's pointless because then I can't Cryptic. I understand that Sanctuary is untapped, and I understand that we can cast Urza. I know. I don't want to do that because if they resolve a big spell here, we in trubs. Now, they didn't go for it this turn, which I guess you're saying means they don't have it? Could be. Could be. If I'm playing Urza this turn, I think I'd rather do it this way. For the record, I don't love this. I feel like there's a Kolaghan's Command or something in my future. And them playing Yorion is obviously not scary because they get 0 card advantage out of it. So if that's what they're going to do with this turn, like, pfft, whatever. So we're really hoping that they go for Bring to Light or something similar here. Cycles the Triome, sure. If you had done it the other way around, you could have cast the Goose too. You are correct. You are correct. If you want to cast your Bring to Light for max colors, you are not doing that correctly, friend. This taps for black, this taps for green, and you tap this for white to leave white-blue up. Unless, for some reason, you want specifically a plains that isn't named Hallowed Fountain untapped. Yo, listen, I done been doing it. Plays the noodle. You got it. Resolves. Noodle has entered the battlefield. Their hand is very unexciting. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's definitely consistent. I wonder if they have like some helixes or like abrupt decays that they haven't fired off yet, because they were like, well, I'm not gonna kill an Ice-Fang Coatl. Like, that's just no value. Oh, that's nonsense, Roy. You're one of the best Magic players I know. You don't struggle to do things like that. That's nonsense. Utter nonsense, sir. Struggle to cast GG. It's just not true. Ah! I'm not putting it in. Struggle with double black and pox. Maybe it's because you killed all the lands, Michael. Did you ever think it might be because you killed all the lands? You're sitting there with one swamp and you're going, I can't make black black, what is happening? Is it because you put 4 copies of Mutavault and or Mishra's Factory? How have you naturally drawn 3 sanctuaries? This is me, Jiggy! This is me. This is me. This is how we live. Learn to play better. Got you. Got you. We'll do our best. This just means you're going to be even more ashamed when I win the bet. Oh, this is them escaping Uro, sure. So I'm going to counter this, and I think we just draw. Oof, I was so close, says opponent. Okay. To Unmoored Egoing Cryptic first. So they have Unmoored Ego in their hand. I guess they're going to play it. And probably hit my Uros. That will be unfortunate, but we'll probably be able to muddle through. Plays Abundant Growth. Yeah, they can still Ego. Sure. But we have our Yorion to fetch and activate here, so. No, Jiggy, you've been roped into this. You're Jiggy 61 card Sing. You're a Rune 61 card Sing. You have to be in the contest to play nonsense amounts of cards in our deck. It's me versus you versus Mord. Brian can participate if he wants to, but I don't I'm not in any way encouraging him to. So, unfortunately, the Yorion's not drawing me any cards. So, but I think I can put the Cryptic on top. So put the Cryptic on top. Oh, I've got Ice Fangs. I'm an idiot. Yeah. For some reason, I was like, you only flicker artifacts, Zach. You geek. Yeah, we're definitely going to draw a bunch of cards. Never mind. Ignore me. Okay, so get this guy. We can play the Springleaf Drum before we do the other things. Play the drum. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can hatch a food first too. Hey Everos, let me show you how it's done. This is how you play a Sky Noodle. Yay! Oh, I see you've played Noodle Sky Noodle before. No, it's just Noodle Sky Noodle, because the line is Knifey Spoony, not Duck Duck Goose. I see you've played Knifey Spoony before. I don't watch TV. Well, you don't watch TV on TV. None of us do. But, I mean, surely you're not saying you just straight up don't watch any television programs. That's not what you're saying, is it? Are you trying to tell me you don't watch any television programs whatsoever, sir? Straight up don't watch any television programs. Okay, then. Does this count as TV? Twitch.tv. No. When I say super, you say genius. Roy wonders why nobody ever hires him as an MC. No, HBO counts as TV way more than Twitch TV does. This is TV on the same level that Jersey Shores is TV. This is TV on the same level as the Super Bowl is TV. It's televised, but, you know, is it TV? Not so much. And Witching Well. Oh. Yeah, those can go right there. Just right as they are. We'll be fine. That's fine, right? I think that's fine. Superb Owl. Oh, no, Super Bowl. They moved a letter over. They moved a letter over in Super Bowl, and you end up with Superb Owl. Right, so you play Emry, Lurker of the Loch. Boop. Right, I would like to know if I should shuffle or not. Dear Emry, should I shuffle? The answer is yes. Yes, you should. We should shuffle before we draw that card. Well, so the Superb Owl is not. That's not a like a great joke or reference or whatever. Oh, what is Among Us? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that space is really, really in the wrong spot, though. I mean, that's not... That space is way off base. That seems like that's an intentional joke. Whereas, like, Superb Owl is literally one letter moved. Dreadbore? Colligan's Command. Fair enough. Reggaeton, reggaeton. Yes, indeed. I mean, the really rude part about that is that's a one-of in their deck, right? Because everything in Niv tends to be a one-of. Save Gust in case they Omnath. Yeah, I should have done that. I'm just greedy, and I was going to start talking about it as soon as I made the mistake, but you got to it first. I mean, Omnath with no land drop is not that dangerous, so... I'm not super worried about it, but yeah, I mean, they do get to draw a card. And my board position is not particularly strong. That's potentially problematic. Bounce my Bauble. It's totally, definitely safe. Fine, whatever. God. Oh God, why do you have to be such a tool?
That's so ratchet.
Wow. Okay. Well. Awesome. Thank you. Just exactly where I need those. Amadeus. Amadeus. Oh, that's instant speed bring to light. Okay. This is instant speed bring to light. That's exactly what is going to happen here. It's going to be a very large dragon that suddenly appears on my battlefield. We can't play it around it, though, right? It depends on what you mean. Can we play around it? Sort of? Yeah, exactly. The way we play around it is we play straight through. Right. Like, I put a Cryptic Command on top of my deck, and I can draw 2 cards at instant speed. Despite there being a Teferi in play, I can still draw 2 cards at instant speed. I won't be able to cast the Cryptic, but it's not nothing. They're getting Tibalt? Interesting. So they're going to eat my Urza and then cast it? That's bold. I really think they could have gone for Niv there, though. They have 4 Niv in hand. I kind of doubt it. What did they actually draw, though? Almost nothing? They drew almost nothing. They put literally only K-Com into their hand with the Niv. Teferi's got to go. What, out of the format? I don't think Teferi has to go. Not interesting anymore. Well, it was never particularly interesting. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting, but that's because I like the play patterns that Teferi brings. All right. So if I Mystic Sanctuary, nothing, and then play... Well, I guess I could play Uro and see what I draw, and then Springleaf Drum is net neutral on mana, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get a mana off the Mox Amber, and even then we don't have enough to play Cryptic Command. So, I mean, I can. All right. So we can Gust the Tibalt. So. Possessions are fleeting. You're forgetting the first 2 noble truths of the Buddha. Oh, no, I am not. Yes, you are. Zoop. I'm trying to remember who says that to Homer. Oh, it's Sideshow Bob. It's Sideshow Bob. Ah, Homer, you're forgetting the first 2 noble truths of the Buddha. Oh, I am not. Yes, you are. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer, correct. Yeah, playing Sideshow Bob, which is funny though because I've since seen an interview which I didn't know about, but Kelsey Grammer is not doing his quote normal speaking voice as Sideshow Bob. I mean, obviously he's playing a character, but he does sort of. I mean, I guess he's not a voice actor, so maybe he doesn't see it the same way, but he has a specific human being in his past that is his inspiration for how he does Sideshow Bob, which I thought was funny. So I thought it was just sort of him being like a sort of hammy Shakespearean style caricature. All right, so I can blow up Ren and 6. Not that I need to right now, but I could gust Niv. But then they're not going to shuffle. But then I can gust it. I can't gust it again if they cast it. There's a Teferi in play. Nothing matters anymore because there's still a Teferi in play. I mean, I could bounce a Teferi, but that doesn't get me anywhere this turn. Could bounce the Teferi and put Cryptic Command on top of my deck. I guess it's better to bounce the Teferi than just like leave it in play. And there's no reason I need to decide to reset the Cryptic now. Hey! Himrak Go MTG with the raid.
You can run, but you can't glide.
Welcome Himrak Go and all of your cadre. Hope you're all doing well. Playing a little bit of blue-green Uroza in Modern. We sniped game 1 off of Everos, and now we're getting utterly spanked by Teferi in turn 2, or in game 2. So if you are used to Legacy gameplay, enjoy this modern Legacy gameplay.
Compadres,
Thanks for the follow, DXDJ437.
And remember, a shiny new donkey.
It did show that you love some Legacy. You saw Urza and thought you must raid. Very well. Welcome. This is not Urza's domain. Urza no longer calls Modern his home. And Modern no longer calls Urza its friend. Thanks for the follow, Himrak. Alright, am I picking up this Cryptic so that I can look totally feeble? I can Aether Gust the Uro and the, I guess the Niv Mizzet? I mean, through Urza, all things are possible. So maybe I should just reset the Cryptic and have faith in my man Urza. And yea, on the 5th day he created Khan the construct, and he was large. I guess Teferi's at 1 loyalty right now. So let's Aether Gust the Niv and see what they have to say about it. And then, okay, so they put it on top, all right. And then Aether Gust the Uro and see what they have to say about it. They put that one on the bottom, so they're going to recast a Niv next turn. Not surprising. Play Uro. Maybe instead of playing Uro, I should have picked up Yorion this turn. We'll see. I guess we'll be able to use Cryptic to tap their Niv and attack through, but maybe they're going to have a bunch of removal spells off the Niv, as is usually the case, so this could go badly for us. Yeah, I agree. What's the emblem on their side? Oh, that's Tybalt Cosmic Imposter. He comes with an emblem. Okay, so they put Verdict and Assassin's Trophy in their hand off the Niv. So yikes. Yeah, Tybalt comes with his own emblem. Also a very extensive rider. It's really quite demanding. It's kind of a jackass, if you've ever worked for him. Target player discards a card. And a Shatter. And they still have Assassin's Trophy. Alright, we're done. He is a devil. Hey, listen. I don't think you should be bringing race into this, alright? Yeah, we basically just lost a Teferi there. It makes me want to bring in Force of Negation and or Veil of Summer, but I don't think that's actually a great idea. Why did you slide out Fawn? Because I don't like it in matchups that are largely dependent on a bunch of 1-for-1s, where many of their threats can resolve through Force of Negation with no problem. They could go like turn 1 acceleration into Uro, into Omnath, into Niv, and just completely crap on me. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. Yeah. Well, no, I understand that that's a thing that can happen. No, I know. It's just not the first thing I think of. All the Kinnans? Alright. Keep the rebukes. Yeah, I know. That's why I boarded out some in the first place. Cut the 81st card. Not allowed to. We've already registered for the tournament. Hope you're doing well, Larynx Punchworthy. Driving you to drink. What, cocoa? I'm on my 3rd cocoa of the evening. It used to be a 1 the night thing, and then... Oh. These kids. Oh. Really shouldn't keep that. Easy ship. Fine. Alright, easy keep. Fine. You're welcome. Listen, this one has no Urza in it, alright? Clearly worse. Alright, we'll ship one of these geese. What appealed to me about hand 1? We were gonna have mana for whatever we drew, so we only needed to draw some action. Basically, I like any hand that's vaguely functional. You know me. I like any hand that's vaguely functional. Well, that was like a perfect draw. All of my decks are vaguely functional. I feel like that's a little aggressive. That's I mean, accurate, but I mean, I just think you could find a nicer way to say that, you know? I just think you could find a nicer way to say that, you know? Yeah, the mulligan is certainly one of the most skill testing parts of games of Magic. Oh no. Oh no. Esper Teferi. Oh. Oh, that's much worse. Well then. Oh. Well, that was a really good top deck. Nice top deck, nerd. Well, thank you. Oh my gosh, my chat is so nice today. All right. Do I want to draw Force of Negation on their turn? Sure, why not? And then they could mill my island. Maybe I should have drawn the... Maybe I should have cracked the Bauble and drawn both. I still can do that. I'm going to crack this Bauble so I can draw both. I can still play Metallic Rebuke without sacking anything. But I think it's probably important to make sure I draw non-fetch lands right now while I can, or where and when I can guarantee it. The downside of this turn is... Sure. They're milling themselves. Makes sense. They did not hit anything particularly useful there. They cannot play Omnath. So I wonder what they will play. Oh, but firing off the Bauble meant it got exiled. That's why I initially didn't do it. And I immediately forgot that upon having the opportunity to keep a good card. Well, we can get the Witching Well going on a loop eventually. For the moment, I'm just going to be more than happy that this happened right here. Zoop. So I can use the Goose to crack the Witching Well, but I won't be able to replay it this turn, so we'll just crack it at the end of their turn. Smack Ashiok and pass. Yeah, that's fair. Smack Ashiok. Look at this giant sword that she's just completely inept at using. It's so sad. So sad. Emry needs to hit up the YMCA. Take some fencing courses or something. I don't know. It's just not doing it, Emry. You're not doing it. Passes the turn? Wild. Yeah. Sick. Whee! Skadoosh. Hey, a non-fetch land. God, I love that. Right. I'm gonna replay the Witching Well this turn because between Emry and the Ice-Fang, we'll be able to kill Ashiok next turn. Also, Emry and the Ice-Fang might be a quality band name. Putting that out there for free, people. That's a freebie. Emry and the Ice-Fang. If they go to mill me, we'll play Ice-Fang in response and pick up that Cryptic Command. Think of Emry as a warehouse employee. Just because there's a forklift doesn't mean you're forklift certified. I kind of love that. I kind of love that. I can't do anything about that, so sure. The Niv Mizzet deck has become shockingly inept at putting up a 5th mana here. Oh, Mike, I was talking earlier about my Niv Mizzet sideboarding against Shadow and such. Yeah, I'm like crazy aggressive. I think Jiggy might be a little incensed when I say when I was playing against Shadow, I boarded out all my Bring to Lights. Literally all my Bring to Lights. I just boarded them all out. All right. Yep, I boarded out all of my Bring to Lights against Shadow. Because they're clunky and slow, and that deck plays a bunch of Stubborn Denials in the main deck, plus things like Spell Pierce out of the sideboard sometimes. And so I've just lost too many games where, yeah. I was just, it was either you were gonna say I was crazy, or you're gonna be like, yeah, that's how you sideboard for that matchup. Well, that's rude. Sure. Blast me in the pan. Okay. If they don't go after my graveyard, we might be able to escape Uro next turn, so shrug. We don't have one, yeah. Time to start making some foods. Pretty sure this turn we're cracking this Witching Well. But after that, yes. Sure. Yes. There you go. I thought commands would get it. Yeah. On the top of that is a list of the commands for the specific channel. They get their Yorion. Sick. So we're gonna draw 2 cards with Witching Well, and then we're probably gonna Cryptic bounce that Breeding Pool, and it's gonna be great. I guess I could Cryptic bounce the Breeding Pool first, because then we might be able to play an Escape Uro. Yeah, let's do it that way. Oop. Doing. Nice mana, opponent. Are you having fun yet? Did it? 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 Okay, so I need a land to be on top because I've got 3, and then I hit a land. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because I got double Springleaf. So if there's a land on top that I can use. Okay, Emry doesn't count. Well, EE for 3. Well, EE for 3 means I can't play Emry this turn. Maybe it's correct. I could play Uro and then... No, I don't want to do that. Maybe it's just E for 3. I mean, it sucks to be me, but yeah. It's probably the right play. I guess this helps us out if they have a Teferi in their hand. Or if they draw one. Do we know if we have a land on top? Yes, we do, and we don't. See? I used the Bauble. I used the Mishra's Bauble. Please activate this. Please activate this. Please activate this. Because I screwed up. I should have killed your Ashiok while the Ren 6 was on the stack. Please activate this. Please activate this. Thank you. Okay. No Ashiok. You don't get to use your Ashiok. Alright. Now I can reset Cryptic, play Uro, see where we go from there. Yeah, I know. I saw the clock. Alright. Cryptic on top, please. Thank you. Play Uro. Do 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 beep 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 do 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 bing be do 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 be do 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 beep beep Dee 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 leap. Dee 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 leap. Dee 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 leap. Bidding. Beep 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 beep. So Urza's gonna take us home here, it looks like. That's really sick. Go attack their Ren 6. Knock that down. Play a super thick Urza. Or rather, the Construct. Construct is the thick one. Play Emry, Lurker of the Loch. And we've got a Cryptic Command for whatever. Do I want to bounce the Omnath before I pass the turn? Also, should I have Yorion? No, I couldn't have done it. Maybe I could have. No, I couldn't. Almost though. It was better to generate mana and cast Emry than have good. I can't read this right now. If I bounce Omnath and then they just go Omnath into fetch into whatever, we end up in the same spot. So. Okay, so if they fetch, I could bounce the Omnath in response. This means they're down to 5 mana this turn, which is fine. Unless they literally have... unless they literally have their Supreme Verdict in their hand, we should be okay here. Even if they do, I have another Urza. I mean, it's gonna suck, but this is Niv. We're in great shape. Fuck. It's a good draw. Everything's under control. I mean, no, but yes. Six. We got 12 damage. It's not lethal. The reason I didn't cast Emry, if anyone's curious, is because if I cast Emry, I can't cast Cryptic Command, which is pretty important right now. Kinda important. Because it's likely they can only cast one business spell. Yeah. You know I just drew Cryptic. You know I just drew Cryptic. Don't do that. Sure. I mean, at least they're making it easy on me. Opponent says GG. It's not over yet. Okay, it looks like it's over. All right, I said sick 5-0 again, heart. And we're off. Ayo. Everything under control. I mean, like a nuclear reaction, it's a controlled meltdown. I'm aware that meltdown has a specific connotation. It's a controlled explosion. Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear. Me in a nuclear panner plant? Kaboom! Yep, that's a keeper. I tell you, I look at that hand and I say that's a keeper. Nuclear. Well, that's just fantastic. Nuclear. I've been issued the nuclear launch codes. Ketria Triome E. Is it time for more Niv? I suppose it could be. Ooh, hold on. Play Emry, mill, fetch, put Yorion in my hand? Okay. I mean, if you insist. Yeah, Rebuke would have been sick there. We're not playing the main deck, so... And my Emry milled no useful artifact, so... Leading on Ketria Triome makes me think this is probably either Niv or an Uro pile. And against neither of those is Engineered Explosives particularly useful. But hopefully these Cryptic Commands prove themselves to be. Yeah, I can attack for one. Dude! Beats. Actually, you know what we're going to do here? Return target permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. I can't do that until I fetch. We're going to tempo this sucker into the ground, baby. I'll tell you. Whee! Boing! What are you going to do? Force me? Holy freaking crap, they forced me. Nope. No, they did not. Opponent has 9 cards in hand. Enjoy. Land, Ice-Fang Coatl. It's a good thing I won't have to discard now that I... Oh, trigger. Rats. Goes to cleanup. Yes! I love card advantage so much. Card advantage is my kink. Alright. I don't know, attack for 1 again. If they EOT fetch, I'm definitely bouncing their breeding pool, though. And then I can reset the Cryptic. Which is just so not okay. Probably won't actually win me the game, but if I ever find an Urza, there we go! Aha! You let your guard down, foolish opponent, and now you pay. Whee! But wait, there's more. Holding priority, I'd like to crack my fetch land. I'd like to fetch Misty Sanctuary. I'd like to reset my Cryptic Command on top of my library. Okay, go. Yeah! Holy shit! I don't know what they're on, but they were not happy with my play. Maybe it's rebukes. I'm gonna bring in rebukes. I'm gonna cut one EE, one Kinnan, and one Ice-Fang Coatl, because I think they're on mono blue pots. Are we the bad guys? No, it's the children who are wrong. Listen, we all know what we're about here. If you're not on board, you can get out. If you're not on board, you can get out. What is Tron compared to Cryptic Command Loch on turn 2? Oh. The good shit right here. Oh, I always love fair Urza decks, Jiggy. You know that. We've gotten lucky so far with our matchups. Hopefully we'll hit Tybalt's Trickery in round 3 and 4. So I can be cleansed of my later sins. Yeah, so... I think... Alright, yeah, I mean, I'll keep that one. This is a Jiggy kind of hand. Is this turn 1 Kinnan? No, but it's a gratuitous amount of mana on turn 2. No, I can't actually play the Emry on turn 1. It's so close. It's so close to being like completely busted off its hinges here. It's going to be very, very fast. I don't know how good it'll be, especially if they have early removal, but we'll see in a half a second here. So play this, play this. Shoot, if this Emry doesn't resolve, we end up kind of up a creek in terms of we don't have any green mana. We'll see. Hopefully this is Remand and not Manly, because Remand we could play through no problem. Nothing. Very well. So, you've chosen death. I see. Max. Play to Max! That just... Are you gonna bolt my Emry now? No. That would be 1 mana. Are they getting a tap land for F6 value in the middle of my... What are you... What is this? Growth Spiral. No, they're getting their F6 value? No, they're gonna Growth Spiral into a red source and bolt? Path? No, it's just nothing. They're just... Oh, there is a path. Wild. You realize I put an Uro in my graveyard, right? Oh, maybe they thought I was going to be able to cast the Uro this turn. No. But you have made it much easier for me to cast the Uro next turn, so... Thanks? Oh, they're Money Pile. Oh, I should have thought of Money Pile. I didn't for whatever reason. I'll bottom Sanctuary, but I'll top the Tarn because we've got the Bauble. If I top deck a Metallic Rebuke, I can cast it. Yeah. Now all I have to do is draw the song creation that we're not playing. Second path? This is fine. This is very fine. Well, they might play Teferi here. Which if they down ticket, I'm not... Nope. They have no white mana. Ugh. castle. So, it's to be a battle of titans, is it? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I fetch an untapped land with both of these, I can also crack my Witching Well in addition to playing the Uro. Seems good. Let's see if I have that many. I know I have a breeding pool, and I know I have a steam fence, so maybe we're going all in. I have Mystic Sanctuaries I could fetch, but those don't actually... Yeah, we're just going to get breeding pool and basic island here. Do 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 boop ba ba da ba ba da ba ba ra ba ba da ba ba da ba ba boop ba ba da bing boo da beep boo bee bee da bee bee da bee bee da beep boo boop boop boo da bee bee da beep boo rim bim boo da bee bee da beep boo. Yeah, this can get the island. I did take into account that I needed to fetch later. Good. Da ba da ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da da boom ba dee boop ba do ba da boom ba ba na boom ba ba da boop ba doo boop ba doo ba doo boop ba ba da da do 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 bee bee dee beep bee do 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 bee bee dee beep bee do 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 bee bee dee beep bee. Big Fairy? Jace, the Mind Sculptor? Yes, the Sculptor of Minds. Right? Yeah. He's sculpting my mind, chat. My mind is being sculpted. Well, we can play our Uro again. So let's lead on Emry. We're gonna mill ourselves. We milled another Uro, so I guess we'll just play that. Oh, there's a Veil of Summer. So if I reset the Veil and then play the Uro in my hand, we can block the Jace bounce. So that seems great. Seems like everything I want to be doing here. Do 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 bee bee dee beep bee. Trying to remember what the name of that song is. It's a famous Latin jazz song, but I don't remember what is the name. It's something sensuous, something beautiful. But what? From where and when? I know it's Cuban. And the name of the person who wrote it is the famous conga player who died in a bar fight. Chinguido? It's turn 4. Welcome to Modern. Welcome to Modern. Welcome to Modern. What is the bad matchup for this deck? Everything and nothing, I'm pretty sure. So the blue-green value piles look unstoppable sometimes, and then sometimes you draw a bunch of air. So it's really not... Oh, I guess if they have Veil... Wait, did they already play a land? They did not play a land. If they have Veil, I'm gonna get fucked up, but I don't think we're here to play around Veil right now. Rats. Okay. I mean, we still get to draw cards. Not too bad. Didn't Bauble show Veil earlier? Did it? Am I an idiot? Fuck, I'm an idiot. I just straight up didn't pay any attention to what my card showed me. You know, the one that I put in my deck so it can show me stuff? Veil in response to what? Hoping for Force of Negation? I'd rather have the Veil up here. Although if they are able to draw and cast this Path to Exile, I'm going to get brutally shafted by my choices. So... Cycles Triome. I just got brutally shafted by my choices. No. I don't have a plan. I thought I had a plan. I don't have a plan. I'm aware this doesn't prevent the path. I just want to cycle it right now. Oh. Well, that's really awkward. I just assumed I would never ever draw the Force of Negation. So I just F6'd as soon as I veiled. I even have this delightful Witching Well which wants to be pitched. They're veiled? Ah. Good cast. Well, I could cast it. I could have cast it. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I did not do the thing that I was suggesting that I would do. Do I have any EE in my deck right now? Because I could currently EE for... Yeah, I could get the EE on 4 and crack it, but how fast do I have to find it? I can Emry and search for it for 1 mana. Okay, Urza into Yorion. No, I don't have that much mana. Got a lot of mana, not that much mana. See, so someone was asking what the bad matchups for this deck are. Situations like this. Like, we have basically nothing that deals with this card right now. We could bounce it, but then we have to counter it again. And I'm not saying we can't do that. Like, obviously we can, but it's very resource intensive to try to do that. Resolved permanents are not your friend. These situations are really bad to any deck. No, not necessarily. This Jace has been in play for multiple turns. If we had something like Dreadbore, if we had something like... Oh, there's the EE that we needed. I can't... Can I get it up right now? 1, 2, 3. Emry can replay literally nothing. No, I can't. All right. Next turn we can EE, which would be good. But for now... Yeah, we can set it on 4 next turn. That's fine. Oh, I guess I... Oh, no, I still have enough to hard cast this. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Of course, it depends on what they have going with all that crazy Omnath mana. I heard what I said when I said it. That wasn't necessarily an accident. So if I let this resolve, they're going to get a fetch land. They're going to reset a path. They're going to play the path, and I'm going to force the path. I think letting them flop around for a bunch of mana here is probably a good idea. Although they'll also be able to play an Uro. But maybe that's a good thing, because that's using all their mana for the turn. Because they're going to reset the path, play the Uro. Oh, they still got the Omnath mana. Okay. And if they have another land, they get to do the Planeswalker sweeping effect as well as hitting me. But that's actually not a problem right now because I don't have any Planeswalkers, and the damage does not get dealt to creatures. Otherwise, Omnath would be one of the most broken cards ever printed instead of just like a very broken card. You thought it hit creatures but not players. That would be obscene. The version that it is if it would hit two things, and that is the most balanced combination of things. Do 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 be do 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 do. All right, do not have another Veil. Do not have another piece of counter magic of any kind. They've got 2 cards in hand, 4 open mana. Take the wheel, Urza. Yes. Well, we're going to play Uro this turn and possibly crack this Witching Well. So I want Urza's mana engine online here. They didn't brainstorm yet. Oh, please don't be that bad for me. Please. All right. No search. I've got something on top I would like to have. Also, I don't have any basics. Do you see any Uro or Feel the Dead ban in the future really near to us? Nope. No, I do not. Is it possible? Sure. Yeah, possible. Yeah. Either of those cards, both of those cards get banned. I think a Field of the Dead ban is eventually possible, but if eventually wasn't now already... When is it, right? I don't... When is eventually if it hasn't happened by now? Is my question. So, pop Jace and Omnath, play my Jace, bounce their Uro, just like they did to mine. Seems like the best thing to do here. Yeah. I mean... There's been a long history of like seemingly random bans in Modern. We one game, right? We'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh yeah, sorry, we won game 1. Yes. We are up a game, yes. Yeah, that was the game they scooped. Was interesting to say the least. They're going to reset a path here? Yeah. And they're going to be able to replay their Uro. Which I guess means they could path my Uro next turn, but... Oh, I forgot that's still on the stack. Oh, Omnath mana is terrifying. Yeah, Wild and the Coatl... when they unbanned Stoneforge Mystic, it seemed like basically the most random thing that has ever happened ever. Okay, now they can't escape their Uro. They don't have another land drop. Play an Uro from their hand. Okay, but you don't have the colors now. Oh, the freaking Omnath trigger. Because now I did have a Planeswalker. Gosh darn it. And the path on my construct. Gee. Oh no, on my Emry? Oh no. They have more? No. No. All right. All right. Oh, my artifact count went down. I can fix that. Play the goose. Goose is loose, honk honk. Okay, now we go attack the Ren 6. They will likely not block. Unless they have another Omnath in their hand. Sure. So out of their 2 cards in hand, one of them's got to be Omnath. Kinnan finally going to shine here. I'm about to hit infinite mana. Land? Blue card. Acceptable. Acceptable. Okay, my opponent's going to continue to be able to generate infinite mana every turn. Got it? Every turn right now for them is is Omnath into another Uro. Omnath into another Uro. It's completely bonkers. Creating Omnath data from the top of his library. God, if I had one more mana here, I wouldn't have to pitch this Urza. Brutal. They have a Veil on top of everything else. Oh my god. This matchup is really dumb. Bounce my Uro. I guess you could bounce my Construct? Yeah. Oh, it's not slowly. Yeah, exactly. I would only be okay with an Uro ban if it came with an Astrolabe unban, personally. Otherwise, I might be largely done with Modern if Uro ever eats it. Sky Noodle. Oh, I haven't forgotten him. Don't worry. Although Sky Noodle might be better than Uro this turn. I want to see if I can get this Construct to a 7/7 though. Shoot. Yeah. No, I'm not going to be able to play Yorion this turn. Might be able to grab him, but... Yeah, I definitely have the mana for that opponent. I don't know if you're aware of what I'm doing over here. Maybe they have two? Am I willing to trade the construct for anything on their board? No. It's time for Operation Flag our opponent, I guess. They're at freaking 39. I haven't spent enough time playing Omnath decks to have a comment on them, other than they feel super, super sweet and fun to play, so... Unfortunately, I will not be the person who champions, like, oh my god, Omnath or Uro decks are so boring, we should ban them. Like, I really, 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 really like playing with Uro, and for me, Omnath is a new fun toy that I play with from time to time. And since the Uro Omnath deck is not, like, dominating the modern metagame at all, it's definitely a tier 1 deck. It's just not a tier 1 deck in any way where it seems to be particularly problematic. Another Jace? Cryptic. What are they doing? They're just bouncing the Mystic Sanctuary to get another Mystic Sanctuary trigger. Okay. If they're not out of fetchable lands, they're probably close here. But they're putting that on top, not in their hand. Interesting. They get the mana trigger, sure. You have infinite mana already, opponent, but okay. Plays an Uro from hand, sure. Now you draw that Cryptic. So you did a big long loop there. They bounced their Mystic Sanctuary with a Cryptic, played the Cryptic. Sorry, bounced the Mystic Sanctuary with Cryptic, played the Mystic Sanctuary, put a Cryptic on top, and then played an Uro to draw that. Why didn't they just play the Uro? Why was any of that necessary? Opponent, are you flagging yourself just for fun? You don't need to give me this game. I mean, I'm still fully capable of winning this. Uro attacks Ren and 6. Construct attacks Teferi. So if he doesn't have the 4th Sanctuary. Yeah, but why did they... That doesn't... They didn't do anything. They put a Cryptic out of their hand, and then they put a Cryptic into their hand. Like, I just don't think they thought it through to the end of that. Maybe when they first cast the Cryptic to bounce their Sanctuary, they were hoping to draw something more exciting, and they drew an Uro, so they went, I guess we go back to where we were a second ago. Cryptic, bounce the Construct. Yes. Yay and verily. Opponent just wants to show that they have it? Sure. Opponent's very, very intelligent. Smart and thin. Let's Ice-Fang, draw a card. I want to see how many Urzas I'm down. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Play Goose. Steam Vents. Shock. Get Yorion. I shouldn't have tapped that way. It'll be fine. Gross barrel, sure. No land. Did not find a counter. Okay. So let's tap this goose. Use this goose to make a food. And I could have made more food if I hadn't been overzealous with my usage. Does anyone here like triggers? Anyone triggers? If you don't like triggers, I would like to offer a trigger warning. This is my official trigger warning. If there's anyone who doesn't like triggers, strap yourself in. Oh, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. There we go. Oh! Yeah, I like that one. We can also spin Kinnan right now, which is kind of neat. This Force of Negation is largely useless at the moment, but perhaps we will... Opponent conceded. I guess they figured out they couldn't win before they decked. That's hysterical. Oh my god. What just happened? Both games were incredibly crazy.
Meanwhile,
I'll be back in a second with gameplay. I'm just going to kick my client because it was chunking up a little bit there. They had Jace for like 12 turns. They did. That deck shows us... that deck shows us two things. Yeah, Yorion is very important in that control versus control deck setup. And here's number two. Just like playing the Ice-9 deck, getting into those kind of control on control fights requires intense patience and
meanwhile,
sort of competitive tenacity. That's what we learned, is that our opponent was psychologically weak. They couldn't put up with it. I guess also they realized they were down on clock, and so even if we had to go to a game 3, they probably wouldn't be able to win that, but I don't know if that's true. That deck can smash. I don't understand what opponent tried to do with the command. He has a lot. Maybe that was one of those things where where like they've observed that this deck is good, but they've never really put the reps in. Maybe they got lent it from their friend and they're like, oh, just cryptic lock them. Just cryptic lock them. It'll be fine. And they're like, in paper, they'd be like, all right, from here, I'm just going to cryptic lock you. I've got it. And then they're hoping they never run into an opponent who's like, okay, sorry, I've never seen this before. What do you, what cryptic lock? I don't, can you show me what you do in terms of game actions? Because I don't really understand what's going on here. It's the KCI problem. Yo, dog, I got the combo. Online, they told me if I have these cards, I win. In Brazil, we call something like brain fart when someone just have a brain shut down for a second and do something really stupid. We call that there, too. No, we call it a brain fart. Brain fart is the exact term that we use. I have them all the time on stream. All the time. When your otherwise very intelligent human being just does something incredibly stupid with no real upside. No logic, no explanation, no religion too. No religion too? I mean, can you imagine? All right. What a wild game. All right, Keep that in the dark. We're against Gerardo. Gerardo. Their name has a certain, you say, je ne sais quoi. He's Gerardo. Uro Omnath, welcome to now. Is that what they're on? Oh, shit. They might be. They might be. I guess this could be our sec. But they can't Ren and 6 with this mana, so I'm not really concerned. Rather than jamming my Uro here, maybe we'll just play a nice, gentle, welcoming Wishing Well. No, playing Uro is almost definitely better, right? I guess if they remand it, it really sacks me pretty hard. But then we'll have the Wishing Well to pitch to the Force, sure. If they have Mana Leak, they probably won't want to counter the Uro. Shit. You definitely Uro. Oh, we're gonna get remanded. Oh, Growth Spiral. Uro into Well. Uro into Well, maybe. We'll see. It's a little bit sketchy. Yeah, we need a blue card. Well, I mean, we'll see what we draw, right? It's not a blue card. However, they're very likely to play Omnath this turn. So I'm going to play the Witching Well here. If they play Teferi on 4 mana, we get punished, but I don't. There we go. So, yeah, I'm making my bed, and I will be happy to lie in it. I don't have mana for that Cryptic Command. Okay, good. Don't need it. Whew. Minamo ruining our lives. You take that back. That school is a blessing. Also, without that Minamo in our hand, we wouldn't necessarily have been able to play the Uro, so... Although, they're going to be able to escape Uro here, so that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Minamo's life. It's not bad. This might be the match where Uro Omnath just handles our butts. Yep. We can bounce it with Cryptic. I'm aware of that. But they also have 2 or 3 mana available. So I'm going to hazard a guess that we will not necessarily be able to do that. They had Growth Spiral into Uro into escape Uro. Yikes. Our opponent's doing what we're trying to do, but much better. Oh, I don't have a blue card for this Force. So, because what I want to do is Cryptic bounce this on their upkeep. So that if they want to fight about it, they have to do it on their turn. But we can't. I have to try to do this now. If this doesn't go through, I think we're just dead in the water. Bauble ourselves? Sure. I could have done that. Yeah, I should have done that. Good catch. It's going to be a blue card, isn't it? Nope. Thank God. Oh. But I can reset the Cryptic Command if I want to. Can I? Yeah. We did, in fact, also Uro for a single land. The issue being that our opponent has Uro'd twice already in the span. Sorry, they Uro'd twice plus they Growth Spiraled, so we're just getting crushed on the mana front. On this turn, we can play EE on 3 and blow up the Uro. So maybe they'll do something crazy like play a Teferi with literally no backup somehow. That would be good. Okay. They didn't play a land this turn, so they don't have one. Interesting. All right, go EE in defense mode. Yeah, I mean, we get to counter this, but it's going to put the EE off for a turn. Not good. Oh. Or not. At least they're forcing my force and not the EE. I'll take it. Steam Vents is just to make EE better, that's correct. You are not slow on the uptake. It's just to make EE better. Yeah, Money Pile with the nuts can beat us, go figure. Is this also Teferi? Oh, also an Omnath. I'll skip to basically anything here. Yeah, exactly. Whereas on the flip side, Money Pile lost to us last round when we had the nut draw, right? So we can give it as good as we receive it there. These are all the things that could come in. Our deck is much cooler. Yeah, we got the cool factor is heavily on our side. So the reason I'm splitting up both the sideboarding and what I'm taking out of the main deck is everything in our deck or close to it has marginal value in this matchup. And the tricky thing is just going to be drawing the right mixture of things. I admit it's definitely kind of awkward, but like that's like mid-range control battles sometimes. You have these sort of like, we know the cards that are very important in the matchup, and then a lot of everything else is a bit more marginal. I'm not super confident that cutting a Urza was correct, but everything else I'm pretty happy with. Urza beats Force of Negation. I'm aware of that. You wouldn't cut it. No, that's what I was saying. Is like, I didn't think everything through in full sort of extensive game theory. So, again, we reveal a Veil on turn 1. So we know they definitely have one. Which comes with the Yorion territory. Exactly. It's also just like the mid-range control matchups where like you have lots of time to find stuff usually. And having a mixture of cards that are very powerful against specific threats versus cards that are too broad is kind of important, because you can win or lose games very, very quickly by not having the correct answer in the correct place or by getting out advantaged on mana. So you have to be able to think of like where and when to deploy cards that are good in specific situations. That can get milled, but I want to draw that. Yeah. Feel free to mana leak. Do it. Do it now. Well, I guess they're likely to have a Path to Exile. Probably okay. Can almost escape the Uro this turn, but not quite. Yeah, I know. I know we milled Uro. I guess I'll just play Kinnan, because if they do have a path, I want to have Kinnan and Emry in play. Should have bottomed the fetch with Well. Why? I was happy to mill it. Makes it more likely to mill relevant cards. Right, relevant in a... Okay, yeah. Sure. I guess I'm thinking of decreasing the likelihood of milling something that I didn't want to mill. Like an Urza. Like, now I guarantee I'm milling one Sacred Foundry, or Scalding Tarn, which I don't mind milling, versus milling an Urza or something like that. You're probably right. There are a lot of cards we want to mill, and not that many that we are upset about milling, so it's going to be an Uro. Fuck. Oh, that is so brutal. Fuck. So we didn't have a freaking blue card. Can hit it for 2 and then hold up my mana. Can sack Well and recast. I could. I'd rather keep my mana open this turn and just hit Ashiok for 3. And if they don't do anything, we just crack the Well at the end of their turn. So I'd like to have this up for basically anything they play here. And then we take down the Ashiok next turn. Well, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but like if they play something forcible, that's like ideal. If they play something that's not forcible, we have the Cryptic. They play nothing? Sweet. What? Oh, good. Whoops. Whee! Good. Any removal will be forcible. So it just goes through. All right. When you always assume your opponent has a plan, and in fact, they don't. Scry. Yeah, those are fine. More mana is acceptable right now. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Oh my. This is my turn. This could be really interesting if this goes the... Oh, no! Oh! Fucking Moto interface. Oh. Alright. So what I meant to do there is go blue, tap Gilded Goose, add green, cast Force for blue, green, 1 green floating for Veil of Summer. Now I can't cast the Cryptic Command in my hand. Oh, fuck. And this just lets you click through it. Apparently. Alright, so I just completely punted away this entire match in about 3 seconds. We went punted to punt. Because it said, sort these into 2 stacks, and I went okay by hitting 1 by accident. Well, semi by accident. My brain said, it said, sort them into 2 stacks, and I went, okay, hit the okay button. Hit the OK button. Why wouldn't you hit the OK button? Hit the fucking OK button, dude. Just say OK. Hit the button. It's right there. It says OK. No. They're going to go Omnath, fetch land into Hour. Which, we'll be able to force the Hour, but my god. I don't think I've ever made such a punishing misplay in my entire life. Like, I've made ones that have lost me the game more quickly and immediately. I just mean in terms of magnitude. They go for Time Warp instead. Sure. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, at least they're forced to discard 2 cards, but unfortunately it's 2 cards of their choice. So, essentially the Fact or Fiction didn't end up drawing them as many cards as it, quote, should have. But, the upshot is going to be about as brutal. The OK button gets me every time, especially with Arclight Phoenix. Yeah. It's just one of those, like, super unintuitive little nonsense moments. We can Gust an Hour of Promise. I was kind of hoping we would hit a... I was hoping we would hit a... fetch land so I could reset the force. Because the problem is they have the Omnath mana on top of the Hour, but I don't really think there's anything I can do about it. I'd rather play this and see if I can set up something good for the next couple turns. Not that, just that. So I can't crack this Witching Well right now. Maybe I should just bounce the Omnath and let them resolve Hour. Oh, they could just play. They could just play the hour into the Omnath. I guess if they play a fetch land when they crack it, I can pull the trick from the other game where we try to Aether Gust it. So like, this is a marginally interesting play we get to make here, but I'm 1 mana short because I played the Witching Well of being able to Veil when they counter this, but we'll try. Maybe the only thing they have here is Veil. I mean, they haven't played one in a while, so Mana Leak. Nope. Fuck. God damn it. All right. We're down a game already. I'm just gonna be done with this one. I don't really want to worry about it too much. My apologies. Click through trying to play fast because I knew I was down on clock, and I know every control and control matchup ends up on stream on us going under 5 minutes left on each person's clock with me down by like 3. So I'm ready to be done with that one, unfortunately. So not getting the 5-0 on this one, which is a shame because we just 2-0'd Money Pile and then we got 0-2'd by Money Pile. Yeah, I mean, I think I've done an okay job at cultivating the kind of people around here. Thanks for the follow, Giovanni MF2. Yeah, I think I've done an okay job in cultivating the kind of people around here who would appreciate that kind of decision. Like, we just went super punt into super punt, and it happens. Not the end of the world. Did you do it? No, you're good. You had nothing to do with anything, not Papa. It's a win in our hearts. Oh, no, it's not. Not in mine. I'm just, I don't lose my value as a human being for the loss there. All right, I can't Emry on turn 1 anyway, so... But if I play the Springleaf Drum and don't crack the Bauble, I can Emry on 2, guaranteed. So let's do that. I know I could use the Bauble to shoot for a land draw. Maybe we will. We're going to. And the reason I'm going to do Bauble shooting for land draw here is I find it extremely likely. Yeah, they've got counter spells. So turn 2 Emry with no land drop seems like a... Well, it didn't matter. Choice was taken away from me. Sorry. Yeah. No. So. My choice is still important, and the important part of it is that they likely have Fatal Push or Mana Leak or Remand or any manner of awful thing to do to me right here. And so if we did resolve the Emry, or if we tried to cast the Emry with no land drop, we would be likely screwed over. So going for the land drop with the Bauble was way better than not. Okay. Do I want to bait them into countering the thing they're almost definitely going to counter anyway? Ooh, thanks for the 10 bits, Blitz. I got the Blitz bits. We'll play the Emry first, and the reason I'll do that is if they don't counter this, I can shock in Steam Vents and play Kinnan. Okay. They didn't counter this. I get to shock in Steam Vents and play Kinnan. Hello. I assume our opponent's on an Assaultai Uro pile and possibly playing Cosima? Sure. I don't think my opponent knows which one of those cards is the threatening one. Oh shit. Fetches Black Source, lets it resolve, push. No, maybe not. Does Kinnan do the good thing here? Please play Jace. Nope, no Jace. That's... We played much with Cosima. I played one deck that had a Cosima, and we brought it out once or twice. That was the Enigmatic Incarnation deck, and it seemed real good. Real good. Let's play Uro here or play nothing here, right? But I think play nothing is definitely wrong because they're going to be an Archmage Charm Factor Fiction deck. One or the other. So you have to play into them. Otherwise, they just start generating nigh infinite advantage. Land. 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 It's not a land. So I can get my Yorion in my hand. Yay, Force Fodder. Oh my god, we milled 2 Ice-Fangs. I totally missed that. Cosima with Nahiri's Lithoform. I think that's incredibly Widmore, but if you wanted a reason to play Lithoform, is Uro a card people have to sideboard for? Uro is a card that some decks sideboard for. Thanks for the follow, Miss M Star KB, Miss Star KB, Mr. Star KB, Miss Tar KB, whatever your name is. Welcome. Yeah, Uro. I mean, it depends on what your deck does. Either you're a combo deck that doesn't care about Uro at all. If you're an aggro deck, you do have to sideboard for it. And if you're a mid-range control deck, you either have main board cards or you will have some sideboard cards. And of course, Uro is a great sideboard card for Uro a lot of the time. Resets Abrupt Decay. Yikes. And they play Uro to draw it, which I can't force. Yeah, so that's been the thing with Money Pile is, again, like, it's just not that detrimental to the format right now, so I'm not that upset about that deck at all. But, man, come on. Brutal. They had to draw the Uro with they had to draw the Abrupt Decay with a freaking Uro. So we just had we have no game here, unfortunately. We are kitted out against the Tybalt's Trickery deck, which we never faced. And we have little to no interaction against the rest of the format. I mean, we have lots of counter magic, but yeah, pitch the noodle. I really do not want to have to force... Oh, man. Yeah. River of Tears is pretty standard for these guys. I mean, it is neat though. It's definitely neat. I just think it's neat. Here comes the Uro. We put an EE in to play specifically to deal with this Uro. So the problem is going to be what they have in their hand to deal with my Urza, which will be everything. And we drew nothing. Now, we couldn't find lands in the early game there. They had way too much time to just pick apart our board. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. Man, this hand sucks again. Ah, it's so... I want to keep it, but it's really, really bad. Okay. Turn 1 Goose, turn 2 Emry. Alright. This is how we do it. Cosima and Oblivion Sower. Sure? I mean, again, you're looking to make Cosima better than just playing it in a deck with a bunch of fetch lands. I really don't think that you need to do anything there. You need to stop trying so hard to make Cosima better. Cosima already good. So we actually have Rebuke live here, which is sick. That is sick, right? Yeah. Tap land, perfect. So as long as they don't have literally Abrupt Decay again, we'll be okay here. But apparently our opponent is playing is playing Legacy. Fuck. And we didn't have the Veil of Summer. Just stranded again. God damn it. I mean, I still have the Metallic Rebuke if they have an Uro here, but like, jeez, cannot get anything going against this deck. Brutal. See, they're squeezed between like Tybalt's Trickery decks and like the turbo aggressive massacre you power of the Prowess decks, which can, like, you know, pretty consistently kill people on turn 3. So it makes it really easy for them to pick apart a deck like us. because, you know, they're used to trying to survive against a million prowess threats coming in on turn 2. Say a million, like one. They need to have removal for at least 1 to 2 creatures per game. So, you know, it makes dealing with us pretty much exactly the same numbers. You want to merit Lage size Cosima? I mean, yeah, that's a thing you could do. If you want to do something awesome, yeah, yes, do something awesome. If awesome is what you want to do, I mean, you go, girl. Dude. Play Jace. Let me go empty-handed. Rats. Oh, well. If you insist. I know pitching my Yorion sucks, but I gotta top deck something reasonable anyway, or we're already dead. So I guess I could reset it. Because they just put Archmage's Charm on top. So I guess what I'm telling them is, listen, I have exactly Force of Negation, so if you can deploy any threat that gets through the Force of Negation, you're golden. I could get Metallic Rebuke, I guess. Yeah, sure. Both of these suck. Both of these options suck right now. I enjoy this deck, Jiggy, but this deck is the perfect example of how bad Urza is in Modern sometimes. Sure. I guess maybe I should have jammed the Rebuke there to stop them from having more mana to eventually overpower my Mystic or Metallic Rebuke. But having Metallic Rebuke for the Archmage's Charm. Oh, they can't play the charm right now. Shit. Come on, man. Just needed to hit Urza that one turn. I mean, not really that one turn, but hitting Urza there would have been much better. Just getting shafted on our Emry is just put us in such a bad spot. Oh well. It is what it is, friends. Sometimes you're gonna lose brutally. Well, resetting anything in my graveyard right now is not particularly useful. But yeah, the bigger threat is them just having it sit here, because we're not doing anything. Alright. Let's get steam vents, shock it, put in another food in case we hit Urza. Got a lot of mana ready if we ever hit Urza. I mean, I guess I will attempt to put Force of Negation on top of my deck. They let me do it? Oh, that's not a good sign. Oh, I guess they have Nile Spellbomb and Field, so they can just shuffle it if they want to. So, I mean... I can't counter this. I can't counter the Uro. Yeah, we're just done, huh? Rough. The Jeskai Urza deck, I'm going to play that later this week. That there is, I think it was Arceus Dota actually, has been getting along with. It's just Uro, huh? I guess if we draw Cryptic, we can bounce it and counter the counter. And then maybe something. The Jeskai Urza deck that Arceus Dota has been playing is probably reasonably well positioned because it's got, yeah, right. It's got Aether and Canonist in it to hose the Tibalt's Trickery deck, as well as having a combo kill that makes games like this slightly more bearable. Also the engine of Thopter Foundry and Sword of the Meek. Okay, so we played against Niv, Money Pile, and Sultai. Rough. This is like the 1 in a million league though, right? Like there's been no prowess, no combo. Everyone's just playing Battle Cruiser Magic in our league right now. Yikes. You know, I'm gonna keep it, but this is gonna be the one game. Okay. I was about to say that they're gonna have they're gonna be on prowess, but it looks like humans. Untap green. Untap green. Untap green. Untap green mana. 5 for 5 Uro matches. We were, yeah, almost. Sure. Ooh, all right. Not the most threatening play from our opponent. Thalia is good now because of trickery. Yes, fact. Teferi is also good. Well, better. Thalia and Teferi are slightly better than they were, as well as Force Negation, but all of those cards were already reasonable, so it's like not even... Okay, sure. Should see them take... Oh, I don't have anything for them to take. That's hysterical. I was not expecting that. Okay. Thalia's funny here. Thalia's Lieutenant. Not so funny. That one's not a joke. That card is not a joke. That card is killing you. Killing you dot card. Okay. If I play Kinnan this turn, I can... Never mind. I can play Kinnan into 2 mana Emry. That's not good. Just play Urza, I guess. Urza into nothing, unfortunately. But Urza sits on the ground as a wall for some of these dinky creatures. Because next turn they could attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if I play Urza, it comes down to 4 or 3. Yeah, the human player has an okay draw, but this card's really bad against our configuration. Because we're not playing anything that interacts with it at all. So that's good news for us. Yeah. I'm either playing Urza or Uro this turn. I think Urza's better. Playing Uro this turn would be better if they have a Deputy or a Reflector Mage. So, let's see. Urza stems the bleeding the fastest and provides the sort of, I want to say, like, biggest potential upside on the next turn. Snow Duels all look so good. What, these guys? Yeah, they're alright. Whatever you do, they have the opposite. It's always the case. This is Mantis Rider. Kessig Malcontents? Anyone? Anyone? Jeskai Kessig Malcontents? Mantis Rider, sure. Yeah, it's also the what is the ultimate where you're like, you keep the turn 1 removal and they have turn 1 vial. You keep the turn 1 Force of Negation and they have turn 1 Cavernous Souls. You're like, you can't win. Can't win. Another Thalia's Lieutenant would be very upsetting. Meddling Mage, not so bad. Oh my god. Alright, I'll take 8 in the air. Seems fair. Oh. Oh no, so much worse. Yeah, we're just dead here. We had tap land, and we finally hit an island, but it was way too late. Ah, it's so unfortunate. Oh man. All right. So Dat member plus EE and Aether Gusts. Well, we'll see. So I'm taking out the forces. Triome's unneeded since we have steam vents. Yeah, I agree with you. You even have 2 Rimewood Falls, which I think is absolutely crazy. We got absolutely crushed by Sultai mid-range, or Sultai control. Both games, they just abrupt decayed my Emry, and that was really the only thing I was going to have going for me, and it was like, oh. Yep. Game 1 was really unfortunate. We couldn't hit our second land until turn like 4. We would have been probably okay, but we couldn't hit the second land until very, very late. Wait, what? How did I miscount? All right, whatever. Let's board out a Kinnan and a. Well, for some, Aether Gusts. No, Mox. Sure. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to comment on. Is like I feel like this deck would be better with Ren and 6 in it, but I just don't have any. I want to, like, the first matches made me feel really hopeful that this deck was gonna be good enough, and it's so hard to play the fair Urza piles. It's so hard right now. I always feel like I should be playing the War version. Yeah, without Opal and Astrolabe, it's too freaking hard. It's too fair. I want to love them because I loved playing them when they had Astrolabe. I never played the Opal Oko deck. Thopter Sword does still have legs. It does. I prefer not playing combo kills, and the Thopter Sword combo is really, really frustrating to play online. Especially if people don't scoop when you go infinite. Because like, inevitably what happens is they'll play something on their turn and you'll go, okay, make 5 Thopters, spin my Urza. Okay, that's not Cryptic Command. Make 5 Thopters, spin my Urza. And when I say make 5 Thopters, it's like 15 game actions. Like, it's not like trivial. The make 5 Thopters part of that statement is exhausting. Sorry, we'll scry in response. Put that on the bottom. Put that on the bottom. It's a lot better in paper, I agree. We found a Bauble there, so that's something. And we have food for Uro. Sure. This is a blind meddling mage. Calls Urza. That's fine. I mean, I'm not over the moon about it, but it's fine. Land. It's not land. But we can go Bauble. Bauble ourselves. And if we have a land on top, I'm willing to play the Uro. We have an Urza on top. That sucks. I don't know if I'm playing Ice-Fang this cycle or making a food. Probably playing Ice-Fang to try to hit a land. Okay. It's gonna name Uro. So I would really like to draw a Dismember. Now. Rats. Double Urza draw on Yorion deck. Man, these decks always do this as well. Not always. We have great games. But it does feel like the Yorion decks like you clump a lot. They name Mishra's Bauble. That's quite the choice. I respect you, opponent. I am going to horrifically punish this choice if I can, but that's bold, and I respect it. I think also, Jig, the Rimewood Falls, while I understand what you were going for by putting them in this deck, I think this deck is way too proactive with its mana. I don't think that this deck is the Rimewood Falls deck. I think the Rimewood Falls decks are the control decks. Like, it's a new card, and I understand what you saw and what you wanted, but it's you always have to think of the consequence of tap lands in your deck, and this one has like 4 of them, which is sketchy. Gotta try it. Yeah, I agree. This is fine. Yeah, that's fine. That hoses them so much harder than it hoses me. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So you know how my Ice-Fang Coatls don't have Death Touch? What if they did, though? Yeah. Yar! Oh, I'm back in a half second. Nice meddling mages. That was fun. Okay, any changes I want to make? Live with Ice-Fang Coatl right now. I have been in love with Ice-Fang Coatl since its inception. I love that little snake. Because I wanted Baleful Strix in Modern Horizons, and they didn't put it in, which I found upsetting. But at the same time, gave us that. What if we splash black in the mana base instead of red? Let me put some Dead of Winters in our sideboard. I know that's going to kill like most of our creatures, but really I just want to play 4-color Snow again in Modern. I think I'm going to play 4-color Snow again in Modern at some point soon. All right. Am I keeping this with Witching Well? Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. Opponent mulligans. Makes me want to keep it, but that's a bad idea. Yeah, we'll ship it. I know. Yeah, this one's a good keep. Don't be dumb, drunk, either. We're gonna keep this one. We're bottoming the breeding pool because we have Rimewood into everything else here. Like slightly punishing if I pick up a good turn 1 play, but otherwise we should be all right. If I bring up exactly Springleaf Drum, I'll be pretty happy. No turn 1 play. My human's opponent is getting very unlucky in game 2 and 3. No turn 1 play out of humans is just so bad for them. Like they gotta have Hierarch or Aether Gust on 1 to come out swinging. Otherwise their deck is fairly mopey. And I draw. And we draw. I go to my draw step and I put in my hand. Ooh, yikes. All right, well, could be worse. Could be worse. I mean, it's going to come into play untapped on turn 4, so still got 2 more draw steps before I need to Mystic Sanctuary for no value. So yeah, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Oh, very well. This is acceptable. I thank you for your candor, opponent. Were it me, I wouldn't have even played that Aether Vial on turn 2. It's too shameful. Oh, maybe they're gonna have a Magus? If they have a Magus here, I'll get punished for not fetching, but then I've got double Aether Gust, so I have outs. So I didn't think about it, but it turns out my play works out just fine. Tremendous. A+. Meddling Mage. It's gonna name Urza. This time that will actually be name's Uro. Oh. Dear opponent. I think maybe you fucked up a little bit. Hey, come on. Do the thing. There we go. Whee! That's what we like to see. That's the good stuff. All right. Now Mantis Rider. Now you're gonna put a Mantis Rider onto the battlefield. Put a Mantis Rider onto the battlefield. Just do it. I can't even counter it. It's totally gonna be great for you, and not me, who will be horrified and dead. Because I think these are the 2 Aether Gusts I boarded in. Literally all 2. Literally all 2. Womp womp. And opponent scoops. They're not having any more fun. All right. So a little bit of a tough league. I think the human opponent there at the end was a little bit soft. I mean, we did lose game 1 to a good curve out, but game 2 and 3 just looked really sloppy. Not that I'm coming after them or anything. I'm just saying it felt like the weakness of our deck was shored up a little bit by that. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Yeah, I don't know. I think if I want to play a fair quote-unquote Urza deck right now, I would like to have some red and or black cards in it. I probably just don't want to play Kinnan. I'm sorry, buddy. You're just not doing it for me. Which means you get to retool a lot of this. And yeah, it's just a really tricky place for Urza right now. I do have Arceus Dota's Jeskai Urza deck hanging out. Yeah, Jeskai Urza deck hanging out. So let's take a really quick look at that one while we're comparing and contrasting. So this one has a tutor package in the form of Word of Invention. Is also playing 60 cards. So let's just take a brief look at what this deck's got going on for it. How much for Dono League? $10 US. So this is it's got the Sword of the Meek Thopter Foundry combo. We've got 4 Goblin Engineers to fetch any of our stuff, and so they're not playing Word of Invention. They're playing 4 Goblin Engineer, which a lot of the time will get your stuff into play quicker than Word of Invention would if your opponent's light on interaction. So the tutor suite here, you got Aethersworn Canonist, Soul Guide Lantern for Graveyard Hate, Pivoting Needle to turn off Planeswalkers and other activatable abilities. Chromatic Star, not really a tutor target. I mean, it could be against a Blood Moon, and Aether Spellbond to bounce Uroza and other creatures. You've got the Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meek combo. You've got Lurrus in the deck, as well as Teferi, Metallic Rebuke. So just playing a lot of like high quality cards in and around, as well as having the tutor package and the instant win combo of Sword of the Meek, Thopter Foundry, and Urza. So obviously it's an entirely different style of deck. It's not as raw, not as much raw power, but it's a lot more able to maneuver to game wins on turns, 5, 6, 7 that don't involve you having to do a huge amount of stuff. Vegan, if you are going to do that, the donation thing is underneath. But do you want me to do that tonight? Because I'll probably just play this tomorrow, and I don't think you need to necessarily donate. If you want to donate because I'm playing this, I would be happy for you to do so. And if you want to see this deck anyway and you want to hit a sub for this month, and then if you still want to be around next month, hit a sub for next month, that'd be great, because the subs are working us together towards more emote slots for everyone who subs. I don't have the emotes yet, but they have been commissioned and they're on the way. So food for thought. Anywho, so I'll probably be playing this tomorrow. I don't want to play it tonight because you could dono for that too. You could donate for that deck. And I would definitely play an Urza Pod Artificer pile, because I was definitely conceptually looking at that concept. I'm foolish. Don't listen to my words. Anyway, so this will be the next Urza deck we play, probably as early as tomorrow. And I'm excited to see how this one shakes out. But the fair Simic Uroza deck, I mean, this is a blast, and I think we could eventually 5-0 with it, but I don't know if I'm willing to put up with some of the gameplay you get. Although if we were playing Ren and 6, maybe that gives you something. Just play Teamer Uroza with Ren and 6 in either 60 or 80 cards. I would maybe be interested in checking that out and seeing if that's... But we did learn things about the number of tap lands and etc. So that would be sick. And I would like to see that list Solceros that has lands with Emry. Anywho, we're going to move on to a different deck, and we're going to have a blast with it. And this is for, what do I want to say? Journalistic integrity. This is for, thoroughness in the format. This is for science. So we're going to play this deck I have titled Garbage Time. So this is the opposite kind of garbage time. This is the bad kind of garbage time. So see you guys in a few minutes.
Meanwhile,
If you're in the future on YouTube watching this, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and feel free to check out any of my other videos that interest you. I've got videos in Legacy, Vintage, Modern. So I think I even have 3 historic videos up. Maybe it's only 2. Did not get a lot of traction, but then people wouldn't be looking at my channel for that content. So it's hard to say that it's necessarily that nobody who watches my stuff is interested in historic as much as